I'm trying to get the juices flowing with the Periscope, obviously.
I don't want to know about your juices flowing.
The juice is loose. Hide your wives. But anyway, what do we watch? Watch your mouth? What are you telling me to watch my mouth for? The new person. Have you ever listened to this show? If you haven't, then you might want to not listen to this show because
we're an explicit podcast.
Very explicit.
Very.
I mean, Rick has a foul mouth. I got to do everything I can do to keep him clean.
My name is Easy. My pops told my mom, easy names. My dad goes, I don't want to fill out these insurance forms with easy names.
Smart man.
Exactly. Holy crap. I never thought of that.
Give the man a prize. Wow.
I enjoy hanging with these three bastards. The third one is not here right now. He's
the ghost.
The ghost. He's actually asleep. These guys are like my brothers. This is my funnest time that I have. And I mean, other than with my wife. But
it's like, you better have some fun with your wife.
I always have fun with my wife. I just can't talk about that on Periscope because she may watch.
Oh, you got a point.
Now I won't be having more fun with my wife.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Critical Thinking Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, along with my co-host,
Rick the Rizzo, and our other co-host,
Sean.
And the other Mexican in the room, Miguel G.
And this is a critical look at all things gaming, movies, collectibles, and so much more.
Jesus H. Mother freaker. I'm trying to do something interesting here.
Are we censoring ourselves now?
No, there's no censoring.
Is this going to be the Jesus show now? Like, what are we doing?
No.
Well, shucky darn.
If it's going to be Jesus, I'll go get him.
No, I was going to start off something like I've heard in other shows. Hi, today is December the 19th on a Tuesday evening. Welcome to our show, brought to you by Uncanny Comics. Uncanny Comics, a local comic book store located in Rosenberg on Avenue I. Proprietary owner Joseph Cano is there every day, wishing everybody a hello and a howdy doody, with two dogs there to play with the children. Please go in and get a subscription anytime you like. Purchase anything you want. He has toys galore. And for the adult people, yeah, that's not happening yet. If you want adult stuff, then you need to go see our other sponsors. MyBDSMSupply.com. At MyBDSM Supply, they got everything you need. Ass whip, ball chains, ball gags, balls in your ass. What else you got, Sean?
And then you go to our radio station with Spunk Lube to get.
That's right. Ask the Spunk Lube guys to give you the Spunk. No, ask the Sling Fling
guys to give you the Spunk Lube.
That's right. Brought to you by Spunk Lube. Help you get that traction going when you don't get the traction. You gotta loosen it up a little bit. That's a good question, gentlemen. How the fuck does that work? How the hell is Spunk Lube on your junk going to help you get better traction? You're going to lose grip of that shit and I don't know. I don't do this. I mean, I'm asking you guys. You guys,
it's got a slick end stick. You
know? Guys are the experts. So tell me more about this. I don't know. I'm naive when it comes to this thing. So we need to tell you what, Rick, dial up the Spunk Lube guys and ask them out right now. How the hell does putting spunk on your junk help you? If you don't like those guys, it's not a problem. The no fucks given radio guys love us to death, and they give absolutely no fucks about what we say, and that's America. And if you really want to go and you really want the wholesome stuff, then you want to go to Beyond the Dawn. Beyond the Dawn, playing Critical Thinking on Saturdays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whenever the fuck they want to, because they can do that. Thursday, I thought it was Thursday, Saturday.
Thursday, Saturdays.
That's right. We are syndicated. They're like the Cosby shows. So don't eat the pudding. And but yes,
soon there.
No, is it too soon?
Poor Cosby.
Poor Cosby.
Poor pudding.
What do you mean
poor women.
Wow, man.
I feel sorry for the pudding.
Oh my God! Talk about being censored.
What was in the pudding?
Okay.
Whiskey in the pudding.
Wow. And of course, for our, I was going to say Native American followers, but we don't have a Native American channel.
Well, we don't know that. They might be.
They might be listening.
Well, y'all took away their land, so they probably don't have a radio. But anyway, out to our UK people, our Europe people, our Mediterranean people, our Middle East people, our China people, our Al Akbar people, everybody we know. following us on StreamPod.net. Yes, we're out there in the UK. We're running around naked in Manchester right now. That's right. We're naked in Manchester, trying to hang out with the BDSM guys.
Dude, we want to keep our people.
Hey, we're learning how to let it hang and let it wang. But anyway,
Balls and Johnson dance the entire
that's
time.
right. Run through the grass, shaking my ass. Now you got to catch me. But anyway, hello guys. Welcome to Critical Thinking Podcast. I am not your host, Kyle Crimple. I am the man with the mouth, the man with the plan, the dude with the junk, the dude with the trunk.
That's enough titles.
I'm the Earl of Funk. I'm doing my Apollo Creed, bro. I'm the lonely Mike G. And you are, sir?
I am Rick, the lonely one.
You can't take my title.
I said the lonely one. You got all these other ones.
Oh, okay. All right. And you, sir, are?
Sean the Irishman.
The white man.
I'm the man, I'm white.
Yeah.
So I'm the white man.
Stop holding us down, man. Okay, Don.
Somebody's got to hold you down. You're going to be floating in the fucking air.
Actually, we got a lot of stuff done in the first part of the show. We got a lot of our shout outs and everything done early. It's basically going to be a review of The Last Jedi that we watched this weekend.
You did?
Yeah, I watched it before you did.
Ah, I watched it?
I watched it first.
Oh, we're playing that game. My dick is bigger.
We're gonna go.
Your lightsaber's bigger.
Hey, it's not green.
We're gonna go ahead and do the.
But blue is good.
I'm trying to keep the show going.
Rick wants no part of the lightsaber battle. Turn the lights off, see if it glows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, Rick, take us.
Let's go ahead and do the box office numbers for December 15th through the 17th.
Brought to you by Tokyo Munchies. Tokyo Munchies, our sponsor out of Japan, who he sends all kinds of Japan ships, and whatever else he's got.
That's
It's some really
chips.
good stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. You'd be surprised. We have no fucking clue what's in the bag or what it is. It's got some funky looking guy on the cover where you think, this is going to kill me. This shit right here gonna kill me.
We were surprised at the last one we had with the
Wasabi
beef chips. We thought that was gonna be like, oh my God, but they weren't that bad.
No, we thought
They were good.
Well,
They tasted good.
you and I had 3 chips apiece, and then Sean hogged the bag and ate
Sean
the
killed
rest.
the bag.
I ate the
know,
bag. The bag was
Jesus
good.
Christ, Sean, are we going? I wanted a chip, Sean. Damn.
He even opened up the bag and licked all the.
I know. What the hell?
licked all the crumbs.
Even the gum that Kyle from Tokyo Munchies sent us was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was not like overly sweetened, so it didn't like make me super sick like some of the gum we have here in the States. So yes, go out to Tokyo Munchies, go out there and order. He has Christmas packs, he has Halloween packs, he has all kinds of crazy stuff you can order. Tokyo Munchies is our official sponsor out of Japan. He is a great guy, and trust me, he will hook you up. Tell him Critical Thinking Podcast sent you. He might hook you up with something. You never know.
I'll give you a little bit more.
That's right. He'll give you a little bit more pressure, loving long time. Anyway.
Anyways, go ahead, Sean. Let's bring this in there.
So, starting out at the top, number 1 of this week's box office numbers from December 15th to 17th, we are looking at Star Wars The Last Jedi. Of course. Who's surprised?
I am. I thought for sure Thor Ragnarok would still be number 1.
Ragnarok. You know, only the porno would be up there still.
I said rock.
But it's at $220 million for this weekend grossing. Of course, the total gross is the same. It just came out. So, you know, it's coming in strong first week in America anyway. Don't know what those international numbers are yet, but I mean, I knew obviously this was going to be at the top. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the top 2. But surprisingly, it didn't beat Force Awakens on opening weekend.
Yeah, you know, and I kind of figured that, though, because I figured when The Force Awakens come out, it was such a, there hasn't been a Star Wars movie in forever, and Disney's taking it over. So, of course, everybody and their brother would go see it, even people that have, like, hated Star Wars after the original trilogy, haven't liked a single thing afterwards. Even everybody who's sworn off would come see it, because it's like, okay, it's restarting again. So, with this one, whoever didn't like the last one probably didn't show up. And the excitement, you know, is a little bit died down from the last one.
If you remember from our show a couple months back, I kind of was trying to engage Rick into a bet about this, but Rick didn't want to bet. But I did say that I felt Star Wars The Last Jedi would surpass the previous Star Wars and be number 1 by the end of the year. Easily topping the top 17, 2017. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but, I'm just saying. But 220,000 in your first weekend is not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
400,000 worldwide. That's not bad. 400,000 worldwide almost puts it on the top 10 in 2017.
Yeah.
That tells you something because it is number 10 at 697,000. So it's not too far behind.
Million,
and that's
right?
week freaking 1. But I'll give you the best of those numbers a little bit later. Keep them on, Sean.
Okay, so number 2, we have Ferdinand.
And this is the reason why. Right there. Yeah. We talked about, I don't mean to interrupt you, Sean. Go ahead, give them the numbers. I'll make my comment after that.
So we're looking at a 13,400,000 on this weekend gross. Looking at a budget of 111 million. So it's definitely got some upwards mobility it needs to get to catch up to a budget. But again, I mean, it was having to compete with Star Wars. So ouch. We predicted that.
Number 2 and number 3 here, you're going to get a number 3 in the list here in a minute. I feel played a major factor on number 1 not actually pulling all the money he needed, because you still had those kids that wanted to see Ferdinand. And we talked about how Star Wars was going to hurt Ferdinand, but we never really got into how much Ferdinand could possibly hurt Star Wars.
And looking at this, it
didn't do like major damage to it, but it did stop like you said, it did not surpass the last Star Wars. Think of Star Wars that came out and nothing else came out with them that was. Do you see anything else in here that's number 1?
No.
From this week? No, exactly. It would have like crippled everybody, but because Ferdinand was there and it's John Cena. It made some money. So yeah, go ahead, Sean.
So we're thinking maybe it stole about 10 million or something off of it.
Yeah, it probably that, and
I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think it'll jump, but I bet you it'll get so damn close to coming to number 1 for next week. Unless Jumanji really.
That's another thing. I think.
Well, I mean, Kevin Hart and The Rock in one movie, so.
The Rock is going to carry that movie up there, and that's just because it's The Rock. And it's Jumanji, and it looks kind of funny. And of course, you got,
The Greatest Showman also.
So Star Wars is going to be.
Jackman,
so for the first time, Star Wars is actually going to have some competition that may not beat it, but is going to hurt it and take money away from it.
Keep it from being as big as the last one.
Yeah, because that 13 million might have been from Ferdinand, might have been people who have gone back and seen Star Wars twice.
True.
Or number 3, which is
Coco.
Yeah, the Mexican show.
By Pixar. So finally, we have a Pixar movie that isn't a sequel to Cars or airplanes or buses or bandwagons or whatever the different transport vehicles we want to mention here.
So Coco, like you were saying there, Coco put a little damage on them too.
Yeah, so we're looking at 9,949,000 this week. It is week 4 going into the theaters. Its total gross is at 150,735,000. So a tidy sum of money.
Not bad for a Hispanic cartoon.
Not bad at all. Yeah, as a totally, Mexican culture movie, animated film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyway, since we apparently have no comments for this Mexican film other than that.
Bunch of racist bastards. 2 Mexicans in this room, and that's all we got.
Fucking no loyalists.
Yep. You know what? You know what would have been better? If they would have took Coco and made it blood in, blood out anime.
Damn.
That would have been sold out, man. Vatos locos forever, ese. There would be no kids in there.
No kids.
Be a lot of old dudes. That's what it means.
Some gang fights in the theater and shit.
So number 4, we have Wonder, which again is the kid that had the disfigured face and had to go into the public school system and everything that apparently we always have to constantly rip on, despite the fact that this is about a brilliant young man who advanced and really went further in his life and his future. And
who's ripping on him? I said nothing. You look at me, you bastard.
Past 2 or 3 fucking shows, like Rick knows.
There's no proof of that.
We haven't recorded.
That was not me. Shaggy.
You're really betting I censored and you didn't listen to the show, right?
You never censor anything. I can say some of the worst things possible known to man, and there it is in the intro and in the show and at the extra.
I'm just trying to help you get infamous. You'll show up on CNN or something one of these days.
I'm more than famous. I'm infamous. No, you know what? I want to see this movie. And I think I told you guys that Owen Wilson got a little love for his portrayal in this movie.
Yeah.
But then I saw something else that Owen Wilson couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. So I don't know who's telling the truth. But it's another one of those. See, I see LGF, and my dumb ass almost said LGBTQ, whatever. I didn't read it right. I thought it was something else. It's a family type movie. It's one of those chick flicks, but I'm intrigued. I want to see what this kid goes. And I think the thing... Honestly, I think if I watch this movie and I see the kid giving this kid shit, it's going to piss me off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That stuff, I always personally get really pissed off about seeing unfair treatment of other people and whatnot. That really just, ever since I was a kid, when I watched this stuff, I would get so mad just sitting there watching it as a little kid. Like, how could they be doing that? Like, I wanted to get up and go punch those kids. And it's like, but they're not real, so there's nothing I can do.
True.
But yeah, so it made a total of 109 million over this 5-week period that's been spanning. So it made a lot of money for like a feel-good movie, not a big Pixar production, not a Star Wars movie or anything. So you got to be impressed with those numbers.
Could make some money on the DVD sales. That would be pretty interesting. That's where it probably make its money on the back end.
Yeah, it might make a lot more that way too. And then finally at number 5, we have the Justice League still hanging in there with a weekend gross of 4,309,000 and total grossing at 219,595,000 in week 5. Still in the theaters, still kicking ass.
Yeah. And like this coming up weekend, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Coco, Wonder, and Justice League move out of the top 5.
I agree completely. I think with the movies we have upcoming, that's definitely what we're going to see. Jumanji and The Greatest Showman is going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now let me give you a little bit of numbers real quick. But here's the first shocking thing I'm going to tell you right now. You see Justice League up there?
Yeah.
What do we got? We're looking at, 219 million here? What did I tell you? 400 million or something? 300 some odd million the last time I told you?
Yeah.
5 weeks. It is not in the top 10, 2017. I'll look and see what those total numbers are here in a minute.
And like I said, our discussion about it last week, the news that I found that we had the discussion might have hurt it. You know?
Really? Oh, yeah.
We killed it?
No.
We got that much power?
We got that kind of clout, motherfucker.
We got power.
America's listening to us.
No, I mean on why it wasn't doing as successful as it should have done.
Oh, because Wonder Woman didn't get naked. I got you.
I'm pretty sure it would have made a whole bunch more money then.
Gal Gadot, ass naked. Wonder Woman. No, but let me see.
Maybe because she didn't spin around and change her suit that way.
Really?
She didn't have her invisible plane. That kind of threw everybody off.
Oh, because she can fly now? What the hell is up with that? Quit changing the order.
I'm always confused about that shit. Like, she can't fly, she can't fly. She can fly, she can jump. She can. What can she do? What can't she do? Like, who knows, really?
So anyway, no,
she's changing her mind so much. I mean, she's taking her prerogative. That's what's going on here.
Wow. So anyway, so you have, I'm not cutting you up, meaning like that, Sean, my bad. It's at 636 million. So that's respectable. But number 10 is still it.
Oh, it didn't make its way in at all, huh?
$697 million. It.
Ah, damn.
That's tough.
It didn't unsee it, huh? Wow.
Number 9, still Pirates of the Caribbean at $794 million. So there's a good jump between 9 and 10.
But you know, that's got to be a record for it, like as a horror film, to be making it in like the international, like world sellers. Like that's pretty amazing.
So you can only imagine what part 2 is going to do. And it's supposed to be even more darker, creepier. At number 8, Wonder Woman.
She's still
she's it there, but she dropped. I told her she was going to get caught. She's at number 8 at 821 million. Now you would think, God, she dropped to number 8, but 828 million, fools.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of
Number 7, can you guess?
Fast and Furious?
No.
Thor Ragnarok?
Thor Ragnarok, 842 mil. So it has surpassed Wonder Woman. Did it make the list still? Yeah, there it is. At number 7, pulled another 3 mil. So it's still creeping. So get this. If it can creep itself another 19 mil, it will surpass Guardian of the Galaxy, who's sitting at number 6. Now that would be huge. At 863 million. Number 5, the movie we never saw. Wolf Warrior 2. 870 mil.
We're going to have to see the first one on Netflix and then see the second one.
For a lot of people shit on this movie, it's at number 4. Spider-Man Homecoming, 880 million. Now here's the big jumps. Between 1, 2, and 3 and 4 is a big jump. Number 3, Despicable Me 3. At $1,000,033 million. Yes, exactly.
Gotta put the finger on it.
Uh-huh. Number 2, Fate of the Furious. $1.239 billion.
Jeez.
Number 1.
That's an entire industry.
Billion at the Beast.
Billion at the Beast. $1.263 billion. Now, can you imagine if you would take these numbers and then add in the DVD sales these movies are going to make?
I mean, if we were talking about royalties and all of the other merchandising and whatnot, I mean, we would be looking at probably billions more, like a whole lot more than that. This is just talking theaters, and that's not even the main money for this stuff.
Now, I made that comment about how I thought the one movie we were talking about right now that we're going to be giving the review, how I thought it would make the jump. So in 1 week, $494 million in 1 week is what Star Wars has pulled in. So it is now off the pace to get at number 10 by 203 million to be in the top 10. And obviously it's still a good 6 point something to take over number 1. Can it do it before the end of 2017? it won't be able to pull $4 million in 3 weeks. But if it pulled $400 million in 3 weeks, back to back to back, yeah, that's $1.2 billion. I don't think it's going to do it. I may have over exaggerated there, but it's going to break top 10.
I'm sure it'll. I bet it'll be in top 10.
I said it would be in top 10, but I didn't say it was going to be number one.
I still think by the time it's said and done, it's going to be one. I may have sold it too short. I maybe should have said by the time it's done in the theater, it'll be number one overall. Maybe not at the end of 2017, obviously, because I didn't have enough time. I just thought the phenomenon that it was would have carried it. And it would have had, like Kyle sitting in the seat the other day, said if the fanboy stuff would have been the better story.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to give you those numbers. Of course, the numbers in the box office, which were given to us by Sean, also brought to you by what?
It looks like it's going to fall.
Oh, it's not going to fall.
No, your cup.
Oh, it's not going to fall.
It was on the corner.
It could be on the edge, you see. I live my life on the edge. I live my life 1/4 mile at a time.
He lives his alcohol on the edge.
I'm on the edge.
I mean, if it's spilled, it's just been on you.
Living on a prayer.
Anyways, let's go into our review of Star Wars The Last Jedi.
We're not done yet. Brought to you by Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan.
I wish we were brought by fucking Captain Morgan.
No.
They could just pay us in fucking rum. Like, that'll be good enough.
Dude, seriously.
We're partnered with
Virus Vodka. Virus Vodka for your vodka needs. They have t-shirts. We have slashies. We have squishies. We have whatever.
This is Slashies.
Squishies. What is squishies?
You don't want to know. Virus Vodka. My wife says, and she's going to make us, and I'm going to go buy a bottle, she's going to make us some Virus Vodka shots. Ooh. So that we can have maybe during the show, if we do one for New Year's or whenever we do it somewhere else, so we can have Virus Vodka shots, Jello shots here on the show.
That'd be fun as hell.
So
that'd be awesome.
I'm going to reach out to our Virus Vodka guys, and we might have to do that Periscope. Or might have to do it somehow, but it should be a blast. But yes, thank you to Virus Vodka. Thank you to Black Forest Comics for everything else they do for us. Thank you for Mr. Bob from Pumpkin Teeth, who is a great guy, and we're going to have to bring him back on the show. And I think I got everybody of our sponsors. I don't know if I missed anybody. I probably did.
I wouldn't mind bringing Bob back to see what he thought of Star Wars.
That would be great. Bob would have a really interesting opinion on that.
Yeah, I think so too, because he has the connections. So yeah, that's brought to you. There's our numbers now, Mr.
I want to give a shout out too, really quick. So there's a guy that I've been talking to a little bit. He's actually based here in Houston.
This is not the shout out time.
Well, we're gonna fucking throw him in there anyway, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking do it.
Throw him under the bus. This shout out brought to you by my BDSM supply. My BDSM supplies. Ball gags, balls in the ass.
Man, we better get some free stuff from these guys.
He is rating and ready to come on our show, so we merely only have to book him when we're ready to go.
There we go. So I'm shouting out to Dean Dark Ghost 713 on Instagram. He's a poet from H-Town, and he's actually got quite a big following on Instagram, a lot of people, but he reached out to me and said he would want to definitely promote us if I told him about our schedule when we're putting stuff out there. And he was like, hey, we Houstonians, we stick together. I definitely want to see you guys promoted and succeed. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to shout you out on our podcast.
Nice.
And definitely let you know when we get this review out. So
good job there,
Dean,
Sean.
you rock.
Way to kiss that ass. Poor predator, I knew you well. That kind of poetry? Shakespeare. He's a Shakespearean poet?
Well, he's man, that's a good question, how you would even classify him. He reminds me a lot of the kind of poetry my brother does, the kind that I do. He uses a lot of different styles, a lot of different ways, but it's all real stuff, coming from his own life and things that have happened. Cool. It's not, flowery Shakespearean or whatever. It's more like real shit.
I do poetry too. I really do. You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
I can give you a quick one if you like. It's not going to take very long. It's only 3 verses.
Do it. Surprise us.
It's kind of interesting. Are you ready for this? It's really good. It might insult you, though. Roses are red. Violets are black.
Dirty.
Everything is black. Ray Charles.
God damn. That's not going on our Instagram.
Actually, that was a joke from somebody else. I can't take credit for that. But that was a pretty funny joke. First time I heard that, I was like, that's fucked up. But that's funny.
All right, we're going to go ahead and do this review. We tried to do it yesterday, and our recorder messed up everything. Kyle had a good way of...
Rick fucked it up for everybody.
How'd I do that?
You bought a card that your box can't handle.
I didn't know how much the card.
You were trying to shove a 12-inch into a 6-inch hole.
Anytime we fail, we fail as a team. Anytime we fail.
Fuck that. I don't take your failures.
Well, then you got to bury your own motherfucker.
Hey, I got this body in the car. We got to go do something about it right now.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. You got to bury your own failure.
anyways, we're going to go ahead and do it this way. We're going to talk about what we liked about the movie first and good discussion on everything. And then we'll come in with the negatives and what we think they could improve or what they should improve on the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
How's that?
I like that.
So we're going to pass the predator around so we know when it's whose turn to talk, so we don't overlap on everybody and we don't talk too damn much. And
I'm pretty sure I get a point, but, you know, we don't want them to kill us. All right, Miguel, go ahead. What did you like about the movie?
King Willie, he from the other side.
Wrong movie.
Oh, damn. Okay. Star Wars The Last Jedi. What I like about it. What's not to like? I guess I'm going to be the ultimate fanboy in this group, and that's me. That's always me. You guys know that. I tend to turn, when I go into movies, I tend to turn everything off. I don't, I let it, okay, how can I say this again? I go into the movie expecting whatever they're going to tell me can actually happen. Obviously, like The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, we know that shit can't happen. But
you suspend disbelief.
Exactly. You have to. Because otherwise, you're going to overcritique the movie, or you're not going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to rob yourself, or whatever. That being said, I was extremely hyped for this movie, and I think the hype did leave me a little bit. I still gave it a very high rating. My favorite part is always going to be, for me, since the new one came out, is Daisy Ridley. And her sincerity that she had when she was talking to Kylo Ren and when she was trying to help him, I felt it. I think she's an amazing actress, and that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, because I felt that she was trying to reach out and trying to say. That's one of my favorite parts. There's a ton more, but I'm going to start off with Daisy.
Okay.
Okay, so the one thing I really liked, I like Kylo Ren in this role. Like, in the last one, he just got bitched out. Like, and we didn't really get to see a lot of him. We didn't get to see, you know, the feeling almost gave you like maybe his acting skills weren't very good, but that was just kind of how he was cast in the movie. But in this one, it's like he really showed a lot more emotion, a lot more range in his acting, and you got a lot more of a feeling of, like, you know, his depth of personality and where he's going, and you get a little more of a picture of him being kind of his own person, his own badass Sith with a plan, with the way he wants to do things. So seeing a more badass Kylo Ren with more depth to his character, that was good to me, because I felt like that was a real miss on the last one. I was like, man, this could be a fucking amazing badass Sith, and you just bitched him out. Like, what the fuck? This time around, we got a little more of that. So I really liked that.
Yeah. On me, on the other hand, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I did like the comedy aspects of it. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say double-edged sword, because there was negatives into the comedy parts of it. And also I did like, you know, of course we like Luke. I like he had more speaking part than what he had in the first one. You know,
which was no speaking part, just standing there looking at shit.
You know, and so I like that a lot in this one. But all in all, that's kind of like, I guess that's our good part about it. We discussed a little bit on it. We can go a little bit more in depth on other scenes if y'all want to go and talk that way.
Okay. I have another part that I like. I actually like the part where Leia, actually, for the first time, you see her use the Force. That was pretty cool for me. I was like, it's about freaking time, because all the mentions in other movies and everything else, like, the Force is strong with her, you know, his sister and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you never really know until you see that one scene where everything gets blown to shit and she powers herself back in, like, holy shit, she's dead. And then all of a sudden you see her do her thing, like, okay, that was cool. Yeah. That was cool for me. I like the fanboy in me, loved that. Of course, it being her last film made it even more special to me. I just wanted to dot that. I don't know if you guys had anything else, any special moments.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that, like, I got more of a sense of Snoke actually being a big and bad Sith in this one, that he actually seemed like, okay, obviously he's not Sidious, you know, but he is like, I can see how this guy could step in and become the supreme leader, you know, like you get almost a Plagueis kind of vibe from him. Like, he's a scary, you know, scientific, you know, far-thinking kind of Sith mind. And, you know, the stuff he pulled off was some pretty badass shit with how he was fucking manipulating people's minds and whatnot. That was really cool. It kind of ended up sucking in a way, too. But just for the good part, it was cool that we really got more of him being really a badass.
Instead of the holograms in the first one, this time he's actually doing some shit and you actually see it. That's why you say, I got you.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I agree with you. It shows Snoke being a badass as a Sith Lord. If you think about it, he was being a badass.
He acted like a Sith Lord.
But like you said, it's a double-edged sword on this one because it's also a bad thing from the way we portrayed him. We'll get to that in the negatives. Before we get to the negatives, what is your rating on this movie?
I actually came out with it. Obviously, I believe, and I think we all made this agreement that a 10 would mean an Oscar, a 9 would mean a Golden Globe, and so it's very hard to give these movies that. I actually wasn't giving it an 8.5. I gave it a 7.5. But again, because I thought about it and everything else, I'm going to go even lower now. I'm going to give it a 7.25.
Wow, he's going in.
I went down a little bit. I'm trying to listen to us having the good thing about yesterday and us not being able to record it or losing it was the fact that I got to listen to everything you said, and I try not to let you guys steer me away. But I started thinking about what I was saying, and I said, okay, I need to pull the fanboy back just a little bit more and peer behind that curtain and realize, okay, yeah, they really didn't do what I wanted.
Yeah.
They did a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. I liked a lot of the shit, and I actually enjoyed what they put out there. Yeah. It's not what I wanted. I mean, this is the Star Wars that we want. It's not the one we needed, but it's the one we got, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the whole line for me. What'd you give it there, Sean?
And I'm going to have to be the devil's advocate here.
Well, you're just the devil anyway.
I'm going to have to say I did not like it at all. I was put down to last time I gave it a 4. I'll moderate it and give it maybe a 5 because I like some of the things that happened in it too. But honestly, not even talking about like what fanboy things were disappointing to me. As a movie, I kind of stepped out of it bored and depressed. So that's why I only gave it a 5.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Did you give some shit movie like a 5 not too long ago? That tells you something. Anyway, go ahead, Rick.
Mine, actually, if you think about it, mine actually goes, the fanboy in me and the critic in me, both are a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think it was a shitty critical 7 rating? I got you.
It's when I being a 7, it's an average movie. That's what I took it as.
Wouldn't be 5 be average? Well, according to Sean's crabs, 5 is shit.
5 is mediocre.
Okay. So 7.
Yeah,
Okay. I like that. Okay, I can live that.
Yeah, average, kind of as we're saying, would be like decently good.
Yeah.
Would be like a 7.
So 1 is straight poop.
Oh yeah.
1 should never have been made.
One is like we're having to wash out our brains with alcohol to forget about the memory of those things.
Okay.
If you hit like a 4 or a 5 in that area, I would say that's a good B movie.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, because I've liked some B
But
movies.
some B movies can actually be thrown up into the...
Yeah.
Some B movies take it down to F.
I mean, I guess it depends on if the argument is it production or is it like story? You know, what's the complaint?
But all mine was a 7.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we gave what we liked and everything. I know there's a lot more that we liked, and we're probably going to get that into the negatives as we're going to talk this right now. Negative wise, what would be one of many of your negatives that you've found about this movie, Miguel?
You know, I'm going to take some of Kyle's information and use it for it in this podcast as well, because I did agree with him after I thought about it, and he really was right. Luke, the use of Luke was weak in this movie. Not enough Luke. Not enough Luke to give you a hard on. Just enough to make it like get a little big, but that's it. The one scene he had that was epic, then it was a facade. You piece of shit. But that was that part, and the part where the biggest fucking part for me was where Kylo Ren killed Snoke. Because I think we mentioned. I mean, I said it for a different reason, because I thought it was like I didn't think it was gonna be that simple. But that was my reason. But yeah, the Luke thing is a real sticker for me. I want more Luke.
More Luke.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, what really, to me, the one main thing, I mean, the thing that just, for me, was like the ruiner wasn't actually anything particular. It was the fact that the whole thing just felt like contrived. It felt like there wasn't a lot of continuity, like things weren't very streamed, you know, throughout the whole thing. It was kind of jerky in the narratives. And like there were parts that I would capture that, oh, this is exciting, and then it's like I would lose it. This is one of the few movies I've ever been to in a theater that I actually had times I was thinking, you know, I could be back at home writing or talking to somebody or doing something. And like that was happening like autonomously. Like, I wasn't trying to think, because I was actually trying to hype myself up like, hey, it's the new Star Wars movie. It's Christmas. You know, despite everything negative I've thought in the past, I'm just going to try to really enjoy this. And I still just found myself in moments of the movie just literally like, wow, I'm sitting here bored. You know, I'm sitting between strangers and I'm not enjoying this.
Well, that's going to be my next question for you. And I think you just said something to me, just made me think about it. People around you, how were they reacting to the movie?
I mean, there were actually a lot of people that were pretty excited. So as they were getting all hyped up and excited, I was just like, you know, I'd like to be excited right now. I'd like to say I'm enjoying this movie. I'd like to say this lifted me up out of, you know, having a, you know, okay kind of day. And instead, I was like, there were moments that at the battle at the beginning in the space, I was like, yes. But then there were so many parts that dragged for me so much, and we didn't get much of a diversity in the film. Like, it felt like they were kind of stuck to certain points, and we didn't see a lot of movement. We didn't see a lot of things happening. So that almost seemed like a low budget aspect, almost like as if what they would do in a movie, because they can't afford a better set, they just stick to the same place over and over again. So those kinds of things, that's what I you know got aggravated by.
Yeah. One of the bad things that I saw there was the lack of force training that was not given.
Yes, because we got promised that basically by the trailer.
A low budget? $200 million is a low budget?
No, see, the thing is though, for such a high quality production, that's what it came off like. Because why would you be stuck in the same place for so long and not show us like real, like all kinds of things are happening the way Star Wars usually does?
Elaborate more on the training, Mr. Rick.
Yeah, the lack of training. I mean, come on. Rey went over there to learn about the Force and also bring him back into the fight. But, and he, like, it was the whole Luke's attitude and everything.
His attitude sucked.
His attitude it sucked. He wanted to do it anymore. He wanted to do this. So she was learning on her own, basically, but it wasn't. And then finally, when he comes around and says, yeah, okay, I'm going to train you. It was bullshit rules that he just kind of threw out there. It was, even Yoda gave him better rules.
Yeah, and it was like just cynical. It's like as if his whole lesson was like, it's as if he's hangry Kyle, being like, okay, lesson 1, go fuck yourself. Lesson 2, the Jedi are shit. Like, that's it. Lesson over. You said there was a third lesson. No, there's no fucking third lesson. That was a joke. Like, it goes on.
So he was afraid to teach her anything, probably because he's like, okay, I'm just going to fail again, so I'm going to give her the minimal amount so I can't be disappointed.
It wasn't even minimal.
Well, you know, the lowest.
But the reason isn't what Rick's saying. The thing is, we were like kind of almost promised by the trailer that we're going to see some badass Jedi training.
You wanted to see Daisy jump. You wanted to see Luke jump on top of Daisy's back like Yoda did, like he did in that one. That's another thing that pisses you off. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Rick.
No, go ahead.
Because Kyle said this to this yesterday about me. And how I had the theory, how this and that and everything else. Again, fan people, this is what they wanted. They didn't help themselves anymore with them redoing those poses with having Luke on the back of Rey, reminiscing the Yoda on the back of Luke. That's another thing that made you think, we're going to get some training.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to take your vitamins, say your prayers, and do the training. Hulk Hogan style.
And you know, it was probably a rewrite because they were probably going to actually show that training, and they probably decided later in like, you know what, the direction we're going with, okay, we don't really want to do this after all. That's probably the thing. Like, we got the trailers and stuff of their initial concepts, and they just fucking changed it in the middle of the movie on us.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there was that, and then there was... Oh, there's so much I can't.
I remember some parts that you guys were complaining about. You were complaining about how all of a sudden that the Reliance, the
Reliance.
Let's form our own group called the Reliance, man.
the Rebellion had like nothing. Yeah. And I had to tell you, well, the words told you that they didn't have shit. They got the ass whoop early. They pretty much have been taking a beat down since the last one. So they had very few ships because I know Kyle was saying they only had like 8. Yeah, like, God damn it, we own the fucking universe is vast and we don't have 8. So, you know, and that's what I was trying to tell you, that the words came down and they told you, but you said you don't like to read, so I'm just saying.
No, I read the whole thing and I was like, okay, so they're in a struggle, but I'm all like, I thought about it, you know, like being from yesterday to today, and I was like, it was the same thing with Empire. We blew up the Death Star and they blew up Starkiller Base, and then the second one, but you saw the Empire coming back instantly in Empire Strikes Back, and that's why it was the best movie. But they had a lot of forces, the Rebels.
Yeah.
You saw they still had forces. You saw they still, but they just had to retreat a lot. And this one's like Kyle, come to 5.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ruined the epicness of it because instead of seeing this massive battle between the Alliance and the Empire, we just see this, like, they're a little ragtag group, and it's like we're almost, like, getting, like, okay, so there was an entire fucking war that they just put in a couple words instead of actually showing it to us.
They didn't want to give you a Kevin Costner movie.
Like, Rogue One was fucking better. We got to see all kinds of fucking fighting in Rogue One.
Well, Rogue One was the beginning of everything, though. It was like...
Well, yeah, but, I mean, case in point, we got to see fucking action. We got to see fighting. We got to see shit happening. And this one, we just see them fucking running away with their tail between their legs.
Because they're... Well, okay, here's what I was trying to fight that battle there with you guys, is you talked about Empire. Okay, this is the very, very beginning when it all started. You know, Star Wars having destroyed the Death Star. But if you know, and you've seen, like, in the movies, and you've read the books, and you've seen the cartoons, the Empire, not just because they have the Death Star, doesn't mean that's all they have. They're currently working on other stuff elsewhere. So they always are constantly building new things at the same time where they're working on their A plan. This is A, but we have B and C going just as well. That's why they had the Dreadnought, in this film. And that's why because they, and Starkiller Base or whatever. That's why they had all that crap. So the Rebels had, like you said, a shitload of people back in the day. So they fought that war against the Empire, eventually winning. But they had, I think during the time of the peace and everything that went on, is that they depleted, or maybe they did like the Army does now. They let everybody go home.
But you see, that seems like an excuse to me. Like, the Republic never built a real, like, defense. Like, the planets didn't have their own fucking defenses.
Or
like, what about Corellia? What about the planets that would have their own fucking militias?
Well,
that's who would have been a part of it.
Well, how soon after the Emperor was gone and Darth Vader was gone, how soon did Snoke appear? We don't know exactly how. After that, was it a long time? Obviously not, because Leia's there and so is Luke. So it was a couple of years or whatever. So he was already working behind. So maybe he did something where the Alliance couldn't, the Rebels couldn't kind of get themselves back together. They were fractured, so they could not get it back. No one wanted to really work with each other anymore because of all the infighting, everything that the Emperor did with them before. So I'm thinking that's why they couldn't get everything back together. They didn't have the massive force. That's why they only had the little bit amount of people they had left. That was my way of thinking. That's the way I came to the conclusion. This is why we don't have this many people. It's like when you find a battle. I mean, it's like when you fight a war. I mean, the Japanese versus World War II, good example. Yeah, the Germans had all these guys and everything else, and the U.S. had all these guys, and we lost 100,000 men on this beach and whatever, and the Germans lost their whatever thousand. But as time went on, they were losing men. They were running out of soldiers. We still had shitload of soldiers we were still drafting because the U.S. had a hell of a lot more population than Germany.
Yeah.
So it's nothing the same thing with the Empire and the Rebels. The Rebels had only a limited amount of people who were still committed to this war. I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't have shit to begin with. I mean, I can agree. No one wanted to answer the fucking call.
I can agree with that rationale, but the problem is it still leaves us with a boring fight.
Again, I had to suspend belief and go with what I thought is what they were trying to say. They didn't explain it very well. They didn't do it. You're right. One hell of a fucking battle at the beginning of the movie would have taken this budget from $200 million to $400 million. I'm just saying, but that would have been they probably would have made that in one night. If that had been the first scene of the movie, all out war, holy shit.
I think, honestly, that's what disappoints me is every other Star Wars movie I've seen, even the last one, even though I had problems with the last one. First time I go in and I see it, The Force Awakens, I was I suspended disbelief so completely that I walked out like, hey, that was a great movie. I enjoyed it. Then later when other people were talking about the problems with it, I was like, oh, you're kind of right. But I literally enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire experience. This one, I walked out and I was like, man, there were parts I was bored. And that's never happened with a Star Wars movie I've watched, other than maybe Clone Wars. We don't talk about that.
I just think that you might have been, like you said before last week or the other day we talked, The Force Awakens was so new and it had been so long since the Star Wars movie came out that was like, even if you try to suppress your fanboy, you couldn't, because it had been like so many eons since the last one came out, and they introduced new characters. And they built it like it was Star Wars, like it was Last Hope.
Yeah, but I don't even like new characters though. I'm kind of a stickler for not liking new characters.
I had a feeling.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Well, I was gonna say I have a feeling that everybody. I think the reason why we're really thinking it's so bad is that we were expecting it to be an empire,
and it wasn't.
Yeah,
and you know what? Empire wasn't an empire. Empire didn't start off that way. You didn't have like some massive battle.
No. Well, on Hoth.
Well, okay.
Because that was fucking pretty big battle.
Yeah.
That's like one of the biggest in the Star Wars universe you can remember as the battle on Hoth.
Okay, and I'm looking at it right there, the little picture up on the top. And the other depressing thing was how the gorilla things didn't show up to the very end.
Yeah. I saw that. I was all hyped. I was like, all right, it's going to look like Empire. They're on a different planet. And
They were called, what were they called?
Gorilla Walkers.
Thank you.
And it was only like 20
It
minutes.
was like not even like 5
Yeah,
minutes of
yeah.
them walking.
And all of a sudden, we got this super badass cannon that can crack shells. And like, okay.
Which is conveniently like a moment, one of the few things that gives Finn's character significance of, oh, look, I know what that is. And it's like, it's a plot device. Like that's my problem with the storytelling. It's just lazy. There's so many plot devices.
So who wrote the script?
A couple different people, and they changed it. They changed a lot because like Mark Hamill was talking to the director, he was talking to the writers. He had an idea of where it was going to go, and he actually, he liked the direction of where it was going to go. And then he said it was a 180. The entire thing flipped from what he thought it was going to be from what they were saying to him. And he's like, I'm just an actor. They don't tell me anything. They don't tell me anything that's going on. And it's like, that's fucked up because he was in every fucking original movie that is legendary, that's been around for 40 years. He developed with George Lucas the character of Luke Skywalker. He worked with the writers directly, and they're not even consulting him.
One word. Arrogance. Arrogance on the part of Disney. Mm-hmm. I.e. DC and WB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to bitch slap them for that shit.
They overthought the shit and this. Oh, this is much better. We'll do it our way. You know what? I guarantee you. I'm starting to think this shit now is maybe Disney. Like, we can do better than George Lucas. We can do so much better. We're so much better. We can do this way better. Look at what we did with the last one. It made his other ones look like crap. And they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird contrast from what they've done with Marvel, because with Marvel, they've had Stan Lee and Avi Arad and the other guys actually in there and consulting and giving them ideas and direction of what they're going to go. They kind of chose more of the Ultimate Universe, and it's been a good thing overall.
I think as big as George Lucas is, he's no Stan Lee. Stan Lee.
That's true, but Star Wars is his universe, and Star Wars is...
But he sold it.
True, he did.
Stan Lee ain't giving shit up.
Well, I mean, Marvel was bought by Disney, so...
Stan Lee is the creator, the developer.
I don't know a lot about the legalities. I mean, how much right and authority does he still have? Like, how did Stan Lee get so entrenched that even when Disney bought Marvel, he's still like a voice in it? I don't understand
because
that
he's
part.
Stan fucking Lee, and he is the icon.
He's Stan Jesus. Okay, I got you.
He is the icon. He created everybody you love. He did it.
Well,
now,
him and Jack Kirby, we don't get to see anymore, of course.
Of course, you'll never... Is that the guy they claim he stole
passed.
it from? Is that the one he claimed?
Well, some people say he stole it, but they work together. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee work together.
All right, let's kind of get back to the review.
Fuck it,
Back
man.
to Star Wars.
If Stan Lee was in Star Wars,
Disney.
this fucking movie would be better. I'm just saying.
Any other bad spots that you...
Bad spots. I thought Captain Phasma got no respect in this movie. For as tough as badass as she's supposed to be, she was like an afterthought.
Yeah, considering she's a badass in Game of Thrones.
You know who she was? I'll tell you who she was. She was, what's that guy's name? Fuck, hang on. I'm going to quote the greatest Christmas movie ever. You know what the greatest Christmas movie ever is?
Die
Home
Hard.
Alone?
Die Hard. Home Alone. She was Ellis. Hans, booby, put the gun away. This is radio. That's who she was. They treated her like she was Alice. Like, Pap, she's done.
Yeah, that was it.
Now, if it would have been her and Finn fought for a little bit, and
I thought that was going to be a more epic battle between them two.
when
It
you
was
saw
too
it in the
quick.
trailer, you thought that shit was going to be like, oh, this is going to be a fucking 20-minute battle, or Finn's going to like actually hold his own for a change instead of being a punk bitch. And then he wins, and then I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. It was anticlimactic.
Yeah, she should have been. There should have been more love for her there. That's one of the biggest problems I have with that battle.
And that's kind of a theme of what I didn't like too, in retrospect, because initially I wasn't trying to think about any of this. I was just trying to get a feel for the movie, really trying to enjoy it. But in the aftermath, thinking about it, there was a lot of anticlimactic moments.
You got me thinking now that maybe they got toward the end and realized, hey, shit, we've been doing this for 2 hours. We got to hurry up and cut this shit off and get done with it. Like a Stephen King bullshit. He'll write an amazing fucking book for 30 chapters and then he'll get tired and like, fuck it, this happens.
Like Luke projects himself, then he dies. Like Finn kills Phasma instantly.
He didn't even kill her.
Dies.
She just happened to fall on landed in part of the fucking ship that broke.
Which, maybe she'll come back as a cyborg Sith or something? Like, what the fuck?
Somebody mentioned the question on Twitter the other day. How come not all the other stormtroopers are wearing the same type of incredible armor she had on.
Yeah, no shit, because they shot it and it bounced off.
Yeah, everybody else gets shot and they got a hole in the chest. You think after fucking a couple of years, a couple of battles before, then they'd know better.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to stick with the white. White means you're weak.
She's sleeping around with the Admiral, that's why.
And then
It's a favor.
And what about another bad spot, Sean?
Man, I mean, we've blown this to shit already, but I mean, that's mostly it for me. I mean, there's some other things I could pick on, but just overall, I mean, to me, there were some good moments, there were some bad moments. I like the things that Yoda said to Luke. I like some of the dialogue. A lot of the dialogue I felt like was
Say that quote.
Contrived.
Give me the quote.
Which quote?
Give me the Yoda quote.
The failure one or the
Yeah, give me the failure quote.
Man, I can't say it off the top of my head.
That one was
Failure's
your greatest teacher.
Failure is the greatest teacher. Yeah,
It's going to be in AFI's 100 top quotes. Guarantee you.
See, and I agreed with that.
Yoda stole the scene.
Yeah,
He did. He had a great scene.
I love the Yoda scenes.
He kind of honestly redeemed how fucked up they did Luke in a way. Like he kind of brought like some kind of nugget of truth out of the whole thing, where otherwise it was just like Luke's gone out of his fucking mind and this is stupid. This is some gay shit. Instead, we got some kind of actual lesson about, hey, failure's your greatest teacher. You need to move on. The thing that feels like messed up to me is it's like, why the fuck do you come to him now, Yoda? Like, this motherfucker already loses his shit and decides to just go and die on some planet and cut himself off from the Force, and he don't show up until now.
Did it bother you that they used the puppet Yoda instead of a CG Yoda?
I mean, it weirded me out a little bit because I was like, what? Like, the continuity kind of messed with me because we've seen the CG Yoda before. And I mean, I've seen him in Rebels and stuff too. So it's kind of like...
I think it was an homage.
An homage?
And that's why I
think so,
I was
too.
cool with that. I was really cool with it. A part that I don't like, and you brought this up today, and I totally forgot about it. We're going back to the Carrie Fisher thing where she used Princess Leia, where she uses the Force.
Yeah.
They killed fucking Admiral Akbar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unceremoniously.
It's a trap. He's dead.
It wasn't even a fucking trap, and he died.
No, it's a VAP.
Yeah, they blew a hole, and you don't even see him anywhere. Like, you don't even get to see his frozen, dead carcass body float. No, that fucker gone.
Yeah,
we can't afford it. He's out, dead. We blow a hole in the ship, and everybody disappears.
See, that's the thing that gets me is like I was saying earlier about like low budget. It has the feel as if they skimped out because they couldn't afford it. And it's like, obviously they could fucking afford it.
Now, here's the question for you, and I just thought of this. Where the lady was taking over for Leia and turned the ship around and ran into... Wasn't she in the fucking command center that they blew a hole in? Wasn't she in the same fucking spot where they shot the hole and killed everybody?
I don't know. You have to go back and
That's
watch the movie
that's a
on
good
that one.
question. I
How the
didn't
fuck
see
was-
that.
That's the only place where the controls were at. So how the fuck are you flying the goddamn thing with a fucking hole? It doesn't have no force field. This ain't Star Trek.
No,
Shields are up.
that was a different ship. She was flying a different ship. The one that
Was she
Leia
in a
was on.
different ship?
No, she wasn't. She was on the main one. Because Kylo Ren came to blow.
It was in the second. They had another control area for it.
Oh, okay. I have to go back and look at that because I didn't get that. I thought there was only one control area for that ship, and that was it. And that's the one they blew up the command center where everybody was at, where Akbar and all her were at, and it went to shit.
Yeah, because I mean,
She stepped out for coffee. Well, we'll just say that.
And
But there's a gaping hole.
She got purple hair. You know she went to Starbucks.
They don't have. Well, okay, no, they do have shields. I forgot they do
they
have
had
shields. So if they had shields and they blew the hole in the ship, why did they float out? Why didn't they hit the shield and bounce back?
you notice the shields were stopping the bigger ship, but they couldn't stop the little fuckers.
Yeah, because the weapons.
Kylo Ren flew in there, and blew up Poe Dameron's ship.
They were using tactical like bombing weapons though.
Yeah, but also, that's the thing. That the further away the weapons were in use, but the closer they got, that was like, okay. See, this is more some shit you guys suspend belief. Now, I know we're crapping on this movie, and even though I gave it a 7.5, it seems like I gave it a 2. But
There was a lot more negatives than positives, but
the positives to me, I felt were positive enough that they outweighed the negatives
Yeah.
for me, even though, and I granted, I know we guys, it's because of our inner fanboys and what we wanted to see. The conspiracy theories on the internet were way better than what the movie came out with. But in the end,
And like I
it
said-
is Star Wars, and it still tugs on that heartstring, and you still see Leia, and you know you never see her again because she's actually dead in real life. God bless her soul. And then you see Mark Hamill, and well, he's never going to, as a ghost maybe now. Yeah. But yeah, I wish there would have been more training for Rey. A little bit better story for Finn. Poe, we could see Poe be a crazy ass fucker, which is cool.
actually, what I liked about it is that you see Poe.
I just didn't like the little Asian girl.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't understand what part she played. I mean, I know how to do this, this, and this. Okay, it could have been anybody else.
She was like a token. Like, instead of actually having a legitimate reason for having a character, and I'm not even talking about racial token.
I know what
I'm
you
just,
mean, yeah.
you know, like a token love interest thrown in here. And it's like, it was unnecessary. It took away time from other things that could have happened in the movie. Like, and you know, there's a lot of these things you could justify and say, okay, well, maybe this has significance later on, but there's too many of that kind of thing in this one movie that we were like, okay, we're disappointed, but they make up for it later on. That's not how a fucking movie works. You make it a good fucking movie and then you follow up on it. You don't come up with stuff that's like, okay, but there's reasons and later on it turns out to be cool. It's like, no, you make a good fucking movie.
Benicio del Toro's character
I was about to get to that.
you know,
He was good.
he was good.
He was really good. I'll give him
I
that
wish-
all the way.
I do wish they would have done it in a different direction.
You didn't want to be a traitor, bitch.
Not a traitor, but no. I mean, the whole casino thing, whatever, all that.
Oh, yeah, the
I wish
casino
they would've
bullshit,
done
yeah.
it a different way, but bringing him in, he was still a good character.
I think the best scene he had was when he told Finn how the people were playing both parts to both sides.
Yeah.
And that right there made me think, oh my God, the rebels are just as guilty as the Empire. That's probably why everybody's probably say, fuck this. We're not going to answer this call. Let these two factions take it out. It's like a country with multiple groups in there trying to, the dead rabbits and the whatever guys from gangs in New York trying to take each other out, and the other factions like, we're not getting involved in this shit.
I was looking for Nicolas Cage, Lord of War.
Nick Cage!
Yeah, see, I like that, and I would have loved it if they would have expanded more on it. If we knew that this was kind of going more in the direction of exploring the gray line of, okay, is there really a good guy or a bad guy in this major war conflict? You know, what's really going on? Kind of asking the questions about what is war really and what's going on. That would have been fantastic, but that was a small part of the movie, and we don't know how much anything else is going to be carried on that axis, you know? Like, for all we know, it could just be entirely abandoned, because next thing, J.J. Abrams is director again, which honestly, I'm kind of relieved, because I feel like this director dumb fucked it up.
Yeah.
Either that or he got the shit on him, just like, you know, just like Batman versus Superman.
And you'll be okay with it for right now until you find out that Abrams is backing out and Michael Bay is taking over the last.
God damn. Well, you know what? At least
There
it'll
will
be
be-
fucking action. You know what? I'll like it.
Shit will blow up left and right.
I'll be
right?
happy. You know,
Ray's hair will go-
I'll be fucking happy as a canary. You know,
We'll have more explosions, then we'll have an X-Wing fighter turn into Optimus Prime.
as fucked up as it is, as much as I have ragged on that guy, I would honestly be so much more happy to see him just make everything blow up in the Star Wars universe.
And then Mike Lowry will come out from Bad Boys. But you know what? Yeah, we really don't know where they're going to go with 9. There is so much they could do in there. I mean, you're probably right. Maybe Abrams will fix it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
wondering.
hope he does.
That's what I'm wondering. Abrams coming back to do it. I was like, after he saw maybe the cut of it, now he's like, well, now I got to fix what I started and you fucked up.
So
He did. He changed. He like totally plugged a lot of the things that he was going to do. Like, and plugged, I mean, as in the sense of like he had something going in the direction. He just shut it down and just did something totally different.
So here's a question for you. What happens if he come back and tells you, okay, to make sure we capture everything, and we're going to get Star Wars 9 and Star Wars 9.5. We're breaking it up like
in
the
2
Avengers.
parts.
That's right. Refix everything this dude done fucked up for everybody.
I wouldn't be shocked. And maybe it could be fixed in that way.
Or maybe they fix it in 1 and it's just 3 hours long. Kevin Costner shows up.
God dang.
Tatanka. I don't know. You know, you crap on it, but it was still very enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah, it's an enjoyable film.
it's still an enjoyable movie. It's still Star Wars, even though it doesn't get what you want. The super excited fanboy, hardcore, religious Star Wars guy is not happy with the script, but was excited the movie came out. And here's probably where you guys are different than me. You two guys, and probably Kyle as well, are probably way, way, way bigger Star Wars guys than I am. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars, but I've always been a Star Trek guy myself. I've always been a Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy kind of guy. That's just me. I love both universes, but I think Star Trek appealed to me more than Star Wars, because I think as an early kid, I think I had a little issues with the puppet things and everything else and the stupid little animals. I didn't mind Vader, I didn't mind Luke, but I was more of a dark side kind of guy. But it didn't grab hold of me like a lot of people did. Like Star Trek, more The Wrath of Khan to me is considered one of the greatest movies of all time, and it trumps, in my mind, it trumps Empire. That may be blasphemy to a lot of people because people are so hardcore Star Wars over Trekkies. And I think that's why I wasn't super fazed by some of the stuff you guys saw in the movie. And I think people that are more hardcore Star Wars fans probably have the same opinions as Sean or you and Kyle do versus the one I do.
Yeah.
And I think so suspending belief for me for that film was much easier. Now, when I went and saw Star Trek 8 or whatever the fuck it was with the Nemesis or whatever, that's the biggest piece of shit ever. Undiscovered fucking country needs to be thrown away and burned. As far as I'm concerned, the reboots with the Chris Pine were a hell of a lot better. They messed some shit up and they changed things, but you know what? They're much more enjoyable than the last 3 they did with the old guy, the new next generation shit. It's like, that's trash. But that's just my take. Do you feel that's probably it? The real big hardcore Star Wars dudes?
I mean, I think to a certain extent, yes. I think for a lot of people that just love Star Wars itself, they look at this and they're like, you have to make a clear distinction between this and old Star Wars. It's just not the same at all. They broke all the rules of the Force. They broke all the rules of Sith and Jedi. They broke every established idea, both in canon and extended universe, that Lucas gave a nod to and said, yeah, that's legitimate. They've just completely rewritten all the rules and everything we know about the characters. They massacred Luke's character from everything that we've ever known about him, aside from some of the most fringe extended universe kinds of ideas. That's basically no better than fan fiction. And if you're a hardcore fan, you know, you're going to be fucking pissed off. Like, if you're not the kind that has such a, you know, you want to see Star Wars so bad, you want to see Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher so bad that you're going to be crazy and out of your mind because you're idealizing it the same way you would a relationship. But the more realistic hardcore fans are going to be like, fuck this shit. Like, this needs to go in the fucking toilet, set it on fire, blow the toilet up. That's what needs to happen to this shit.
No.
But for me, like, I really did, as far as I know, I can't say for whatever level of subconscious love I have for Star Wars, but consciously, I made every effort just to enjoy this movie, because I literally, like a good comedy crowd, a good stand-up comedy crowd, I went in there wanting to be pumped, wanting to be psyched, wanting to have a good time and enjoy it. I didn't even enjoy the movie. Later, I had to come back and develop some kind of emotion, let the hate grow strong in me over this thing. Because otherwise, I didn't give a fuck. And I was like, wow, can I really give a review on a movie that I didn't even give a fuck about? Like, damn.
I was going to say this. I was like, do you think this director took the way he did the movie? Because I think they gave him the okay to do the next trilogy of Star Wars that's not based on the Skywalkers. Do you think that's why he did the movie the way he did? To show that the newer characters, like it showed at the end with the little kid, he reaches for the broom and
that's another thing. Star Wars movies never end that way. It's always on the main characters. It's always the shot of them, remember?
Yeah.
There's never a shot of somebody new and who we don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, Rick. I think that's exactly what he did. He's just trying to get everybody focused forward. In fact, I even personally see like some brainwashing in the whole Kylo Ren, let the old things go away, kill the past if you have to. Exactly. Other people see some kind of lesson in that, but I'm like, no, it's not a lesson. It's this fucking director trying to say, forget everything in the past because I'm making better stuff in the future. Like, hey, like, go fuck yourself. You're not doing better than anybody else did. Come on.
And then watch Abrams change it back to the way it You're like, you're trash, dude. Wait,
fuck you.
but then you'll be even more pissed off because you're like, well, dude, this guy promised this new thing. Now you took us back to the old. What the fuck? So
I'll be happy if it just goes back to being like Force Awakens.
So 8, just like 1, doesn't exist.
Oh man, like I don't even know. We'll have to see down the line, but I see
Misa thinks he's coming back.
Like people have talked about it being like the most divisive Star Wars ever, and I kind of agree. I think that we're going to see a lot of people that were just kind of holding on even through the the prequels and still saying, okay, but it's Star Wars. Okay, but I love the Jedi. I love Darth Maul or whatever. We're going to see a lot of people just going off and basically going like unclean and putting a quarantine around the new Star Wars, saying, that's all new Star Wars. Fuck this shit. This is canon to us. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. And there's going to be a divide between mainstream and people that just actually love Star Wars. And that's what's going to happen.
What did y'all think of Snoke's death?
That was crap.
It was too fast.
Yeah, he shouldn't. And he looked feeble. I mean, the look on his face, he looked like a cartoon character. Like, really? Now, I would have loved if Kylo Ren and Rey took him on together.
Yeah.
That would have been a hell of better. Yeah, but no, instead he turned, I know I can see in his mind everything he does. And so you really can't see these twisting and doing this at the same time? Really, Mr. All-Powerful? I still think the fucker ain't dead, though.
And you see, that's the funny thing is for all the stuff that, like, we say is, like, shallow, some people would argue that, just being all about the action is shallow. Yet, honestly, Come on, 2017. Why can't we see a lot of fucking action? Why can't we see a lot of fucking massive, awesome Jedi Sith battles and shit? Like, why didn't they do it? You know, how many? What did you say the budget was again?
$200 million.
200 fucking million, and they couldn't have any decent fights.
Yeah, because half of that went to Carrie Fisher, the other half went to Mark Hamill.
Goddamn.
No, but the thing is, sorry about that, Sean.
Everybody else did it for free.
Right? Yeah, I know. No, the whole Snoke thing is, I don't think he died. I think he may still be alive. I think he did that, in other words, to push Kylo forward, because maybe he saw on his, because remember, he could mind fuck them both, so he could see he could control them and make them see things and talk to each other. So maybe he saw that Ren will never become what I need him to become unless he thinks he's killed me. Yeah. And then I come back and and then he won't be that whiny passive bitch anymore of apprentice that I have. He'll be a true killer.
I really wish that was it, but I have a feeling with the way that they've disappointed every other fan theory.
Snoke is dead.
He's probably
Snoke is dead, and Kylo Ren is going to be a bad motherfucker.
And J.J. Abrams is going to have to salvage it. But what I hate about that is they just made Snoke a plot device.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him be a character that, like, we come to respect and we know more about and then dies in a satisfying way. He was just a mere plot device. And in a lot of ways, Luke Skywalker was his mirror image. He was just a plot device, too. He was just there to get out of the way for Rey.
So, you look at this. Kylo Ren, first of all, is strong. He's strong with the Force. Obviously, you know that because he stopped that laser blast in the other one. So he is strong. But he's not, and Rey isn't, this is the messed up fucking part. Rey has no training, but yes, he's already as strong as he is in certain things. And here's the thing. You made a comment. Who the fuck's going to train her? All right, Leia, we have everything we need. Leia can't train her. Leia doesn't know shit about the Force. I mean, she knows how to use it, obviously, now. We don't know. That might have just been luck. That might have been her subconscious or whatever. So we have no idea who the hell, there is no other Jedi. It was just Luke.
Like I said, unless
Luke comes back from his dead.
Luke comes back as a ghost. Like,
and she has a ghost mentor, yeah.
That would be kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie, but
I don't think Mark Hamill's going to do another one, honestly, even if they wanted him to.
But who helps Kylo? Who helps Kylo take that step?
But he had a lot of training, though. Like, even Snoke said, this is the one thing you got to do left and your training is, like, complete, was, like, killing her.
So, but you make Rey all of a sudden be
a badass
within a moment?
When he's a fucking master. See, and that's what annoyed me about The Force Awakens in the first place, was I was like, no training.
Yeah, she jumps from a stick person to a badass now?
And that's what flies in the face of all Star Wars logic, is you have to be trained. Like, to even use a lightsaber, you have to be trained. It's literally, you can't even switch it on unless you've been trained. And instead, we're given this picture of she's just like magically and mystically so special, can do all this shit. But she wasn't even special.
But remember how I told you how they were trying to do that theory that the midichlorians, that she's really Anakin Skywalker reborn and whatever. And we were like, nah, that's a better fan, but it's not. But remember what she told Luke? It's like I have something inside of me that's always been there, blah, 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 blah. So it was kind of like...
That could have been fan service, though, to the idea, because they're done with the Skywalkers. They're trying to fucking throw them away.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that crap, but it's like, I think they're trying to build up that she has it already in her. So she just nearly needs to flip the switch.
Because, I mean, even Anakin had to be trained.
So she's a new Jedi now that doesn't need training. It just comes into you, and all of a sudden you know. It's like the Matrix. You plug in and you learn instantly.
And again, I mean, like Rick's idea of it being about the Bendu, like he was theorizing originally, that would have been fucking amazing. Why didn't they do that?
They theorized the midichlorian part out already.
Yeah, they threw it out.
Doesn't exist.
That's why I was trying to think, the Bendu thing you were talking about, that would have been interesting too, because the
that would have
lightsaber,
been awesome.
That would have been fucking awesome.
But we're not going to do that either.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to do something different, but they did nothing different that's cool. But that kind of begs the question, is Disney going to have continuity across their whole, like, Rebels, the Star Wars universe of the actual films? Like, how much are they actually going to tie this all in? And how much are we, like, dealing with a Game of Thrones situation here, where we have so many different writers and people for the directions they want to see and they want to push Star Wars, that they're all, like, in conflict over this shit? I mean, we don't know.
You know what? I just thought about this. They did say that all the, the Emperor, what is it, Order 6, what was it?
Order 66 or something.
Yeah, where they killed all the Jedi. Well, if Yoda was strong enough to hide a signal on a planet, then who else couldn't do it? Yeah. Maybe there is another master out there that is going to train Rey. Maybe
you got a point there.
And maybe there is another Sith somewhere. Maybe Plagueis is somewhere out
Mace
there.
Windu didn't actually die, and he ends up being a master.
Dude,
Samuel motherfucking Jackson ends up in this movie.
Windu is dead, man.
No, it's Darth Jar Jar. He teaches her.
Another scene here real quick. I said, what did y'all think of the love connection between Finn and the Asian chick?
Well, I told you, I thought that was ridiculous. I don't know why I was there. I don't know why they're giving Finn love interest. I thought he loved Cameron Poe, but
Cameron Poe?
Thought there was a gay thing going on? What?
That was the whole thing. Remember, the whole thing was like there was a gay vibe between them both.
I never caught that personally.
That's like everybody was saying there's like a gay vibe between them. Like,
It's like, Finn loved Rey. He wanted to be with Rey. He's like, yeah, but
I don't know if he loves Rey that way.
But Rey wasn't going to put out. So
I feel like he does.
The Asian chick went on. And
I feel like she friend zones him, but he's really, really.
Well, if she's going to be a Jedi, she's not going to be. She can't have.
But they're breaking all the rules. Remember, they're not following any of the rules anymore. Like even Luke technically changed all the rules when he founded the new Jedi Order, and you can take almost any of the canon for this or the external books. He said, you know what, that was a bad idea of the Jedi Order to not let anybody have, family and whatnot. That was bad stuff. So we're doing that over again. You can get married, you can have kids, you can do all that stuff. So unless they're like trying to go against all that too and be like, no, Luke was like, we're going to do it exactly like the last guys, which didn't work. Which again, it's like, why the fuck would you do that?
Hey, it's just going to be just like when Mace Windu came out and the Sith were like, a black Jedi. Come on now.
No, we need a Chinese Jedi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jet Li.
Oh my
He's
God.
our master. There we go.
Jesus.
On that whole love story thing, I think Finn was just going for the easy puss.
Dude, he was indoctrinated as a stormtrooper. He has no wing. He's like whatchamacallit from Game of Thrones. He's got no penis. Was it Varys? Is it Varys the one? He's the eunuch. There you go.
He got it snipped.
He got snipped. He ain't got nothing, bro.
You never do see any kind of sexual drive with him at all, so it kind of makes you wonder.
Well, they gave him a bunch of saltpeter, so he ain't feeling shit. That shit is over, bro.
And like I said, a lot of the stuff is a double-edged sword. It's good and it's bad. Like a lot of stuff we said, there was the scenes were good, but we pulled out the bad parts of them.
Which is why I would argue a 5 for me, because it's like there's such a mixture of the good and bad, and just my overall feeling of when I actually saw the movie. Maybe I would enjoy it a little more seeing it the second time since I know what to expect, but it feels so evenly placed between good ideas and things that didn't actually get fulfilled and bad ideas that's like I can't, by the way I felt about the movie, give it more than a 5.
And I gave it the 7.5 again because I thought even though it didn't follow most fanboy ideas, it still had a decent what they were trying to do. Some of the acting was still on par. Daisy and then Del Toro and then Carrie Fisher, actually, believe it or not. And it was okay.
I feel like the actors got sold short. That's the way I feel.
I liked how they.
And I got sorry, Rick. I think Kylo, Adam Driver,
He did a great job.
Yeah, he really
did.
And ever since you saw him do that little skit, the boss. Yeah, you just knew the guy had some chops. So.
Yeah, I mean, he saved the movie for me. I wouldn't even be giving it a 5 if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, and like I said, like a lot of the comedy aspects, especially with Kylo, when he became the Supreme Leader, he treated the other guy like a bitch.
Yeah, it's about damn time, right? Like, dude, like Vader did the other guy.
Yeah,
he's got the Force, dude. What the hell's wrong with you? Boom. Who's the Supreme Leader? The Supreme Leader's what? Yeah, Supreme Leader. Yeah, bitch. Like he was going to try to shoot Kylo Ren. Really? You're a dumbass.
Like I said, like the comedy aspects of those were funny, and I was like, yes, that's where it's good. And then with the whole with Chewie and the little thing, I think that
was the one funny part that I really did get a chuckle out of.
He was about to eat the bird, and the bird was like,
He already cooked like 2 or 3 of them, and the other ones are just looking at him with their eyes wide open, staring at him like in shock. Yeah, and he's just like growls at him.
But it was so cool how it looked like a bird with his feet, and it's like a little chicken. It's like
little roasted chicken.
That is so fucking wrong. And how they all went into how even after he ate them, how they still went with him into the.
Well, I don't think he did eat it because by the time the other one was, he just looked at it and he just kind of put it down like he couldn't do it.
And how the one was in the thing, whoop, 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 like and he kept on pushing them out of the way.
See, that's the only thing that even justifies their place in the movie for me. The rest, it's like it was clearly just merchandising.
It was toy bait.
And that wasn't the original Chewbacca. You know that, right? Peter Mayhew couldn't do it. Yeah. He couldn't stand.
No.
So they had to get somebody else.
He consulted, though, I believe.
Yeah. He consulted the guy, and the guy, he gave him, he's pretty good at it, obviously.
Well, they at least consulted somebody. God damn it. Fucking morons. Like, let's at least consult Chewie. Hey, dang, at least.
I think the other thing that really I expected more was when Luke figured out that Han was dead. It wasn't enough emotion for me.
Yeah.
As much as he went through with Han, how close he got to Han, it wasn't enough emotion.
Because it was fast forwarded. Yeah. I mean, they just blazed past it. And those slow dragging shit scenes is what should have been going to stuff like that. Like that's where my feeling is like as a film.
Oh, you don't like them chasing? You don't like them chasing the ship for 3.5 hours? It's like freaking Family Guy. We're gonna get them.
You know what it was like? What that part is like is it's like a series, like a TV show, like. let's show the drama of the people of like, oh no, our spaceship is still being chased. And it's like, this is supposed to be a fucking movie. I'm not supposed to be watching this shit. I'm supposed to be watching things happen. God damn it.
And now, did that piss you off, the fact that, yeah, it was a good idea for them to escape the ship? So I was like, at first I was going with Poe. And this was also a good way that how they made Poe going to be the new leader of the Resistance in the next one, if you think about it.
Yeah, they were definitely grooming him for that.
But did it piss you off that it took what's her name that long to decide to turn the ship around to destroy the other one?
Yeah.
After she watched like 3 or 4 ships get shot.
Well, you also made a good point about earlier. How the fuck they just not all like get onto the big ship instead of the little ships when they were running out of gas?
Yeah.
Like you knew your thing's going to go out of gas, so why don't you hurry up and get it to the other one and get on that one before you get blown up to bits too?
And then branch the other ones off, so they have to like run after them. And there's nobody on it.
Yeah, but so it was like so lame that they couldn't like you guys.
And why would she even have to be on the ship to self-sacrifice? I mean, it's all fucking automated. It could have been turned around on its own. She could have been on the shuttles with the rest of them.
But it was damaged when it got shot.
But like even its AI throughout the entire ship is fucked up. Like that doesn't make much sense.
Well, you know, Friday wasn't there to take the ship away.
They needed a transporter.
Yeah. Nice. But they didn't have one. That was the problem. So, I mean, yeah.
Jason Statham should have been there.
Nice. She was too fucking stupid to realize, like I said, she's too busy worrying about the dinos coming and get her ass from Jurassic Park to turn the goddamn ship around and go. Now, when she finally turned around and took off and went full light speed, not what it did to the ship, that was amazing.
I like the effect for sure. That was cool.
And the guy was like, shoot that ship.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I was like, she should have done it sooner.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, at the very fucking beginning. Now, I understand why they didn't do it at the very beginning, because they were waiting for the ships to get to the planet.
Yeah. Well,
but the moment they started shooting the goddamn, like you said, the first time the first one got shot, she should have been turning that ship around and sacrificing herself. But maybe she was trying to think of another way so she wouldn't have to die.
Well, she knew she was going to die.
Yeah, she was planning on dying anyway as a heroic sacrifice.
Maybe her ex-boyfriend was on the ones that got blown up, and she wanted the fuckers go to hell too.
Ha!
You know, you never know.
It's a little contrived, you know, when you think about it. Like it had to go that way just so that we got dramatic instead of like it having a legitimate kind of reason. Like it's kind of artificial.
Like, okay, Star Trek. Kirk didn't hesitate. I mean, Kirk's dad, he took his thing right into the freaking Romulan ship and sacrificed so everybody else could get away. He did it immediately.
Yeah.
Here in Star Wars, no, it takes 2 days and a year before they decide, I'm going to go ahead and kill myself so everybody else can live. But half of them already died.
She had to finish sucking her pumpkin latte down before she decided what she needed to do.
I think it was the purple hair that affected her brainwaves. So she didn't
I don't know. Wasn't it that like gay halo over her head or something?
God, that was the worst character ever. I felt that her acting ability was like fucking lame. And here she's not bad, but she seemed like so uninterested to be there.
Yeah, she seemed very
like she was sedated, like she was on Valium or something.
Unauthentic and like not like a commanding presence at all. It's like her idea of like being a commander was just like, okay, I understand this, but I'm going to fucking tell you what to do because that's just how it is. And it's just like, okay. It's like, what is this, a fucking tour? Like, God damn it, you're supposed to be a fucking admiral.
Yeah, I know Poe got demoted, but still, he is the one with the experience and he is the fighter, so you still probably want to listen to him, what he has to say. But she talked to him like he was a turd.
Yeah, she could have brought him in on what was going on.
Yeah, and let him know what's going on. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew what she was going to do. Nobody knew nothing. She kept it to herself. And I'm like, of course you're going to get a mutiny because you don't fucking share it.
And in an emergency situation like this, at least talk to the guy that everybody trusts and say, okay, look, keep it under your hat, but this is what we're going to do.
And even though Leia may have told him some stuff, like she told you got to think better, make better decisions, she didn't like rip into him, make him feel like a piece of shit. She gave him like constructive tone. What he was doing was great. She understands, but she praised that he learned to do it this way because it's much better.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
See, he learned a lesson from Leia, but fuck purple hair, bitch. He did. Yeah, he learned not to fucking do that. Dumbass. So, yeah. So, again, we can trash this.
It's a mixed bag.
Like I said, it's a mixed bag. Everything was a double-edged sword to me.
Yeah, but don't get us wrong, everybody. We did like the movie.
Yeah, the movie was good.
These two did. I didn't.
You go back and see it again. You'll like it, bitch.
I doubt it. I would have to be paid to go see it a second time.
Wow.
Honestly, for real. Like
I don't know if I would go see it in the movie theater again.
Oh, no.
No. I'd see it at home.
But to see it at home.
I don't even know if I'd buy it. You know, no, I take that back. I'd have to buy it because you want to have them all.
Yeah.
Would you
as a collector, okay.
Would you want to buy it on sale? Yes. So yeah, exactly. It's like I have the what's the one that just recently came out? Not before this one. The one with the beginning.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah. I bought that sucker as soon as it came out. I didn't give a shit if it was $25. Like you said, it was the very beginning and it was good. And the girl cast in there was amazing too.
It was a great movie. It just really was. You know, I'm not ashamed of the fanboy over the top rating we gave it because that was just how the movie left you feeling.
And I couldn't figure out which way Lawrence Fishburne was looking.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Not Lawrence Fishburne.
Morpheus was in this movie?
Not Morpheus.
Morpheus should be her teacher.
Forrest Whitaker.
Thank you. Forrest Whitaker was looking to the right and to the left.
It'll be Darth Morpheus.
That's why he got blown up.
And if you watch Star Wars Rebels, you can see how actually he was because his character was in that show and he was an asshole.
Oh, that's sweet. I mean, I missed the last season. I didn't get to see. I was watching with you, so yeah. That show was very good. Surprising. I was like, I got to buy these on DVD. This is
they need to
amazing.
put them in charge of the fucking trilogy.
Are you telling me they're DC now? All of a sudden, the cartoons are better than the movies.
Yeah, it's gone to this. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
Oh no, that is our review. I mean, I know we trash it a lot and everything, but we did love the movie. We're just letting you know that because we're big fanboys and we're so canon about this stuff, and this director just fucks shit up in our heads and fuck.
Only thing would have been worse if M. Night Shyamalan directed it.
It would have been a mystery.
No, at the end you would have seen
a twist.
Vader would have came out. What?
Kylo Ren would have come out of the closet. Like, what?
It would have took us face off, and it would have been Nick Cage. No, hang on. I know we're done with it, but I want to ask Sean a fanboy question, if you don't mind me asking.
Go ahead.
Did you see the last Supernatural this season?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God! You know where the mother's at, right? The mother's an alternate.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know they're trying to get there. Do you want me to tell you? Are you going to watch it? I'm not going.
I will watch it.
They wind up going into Jack wind up with the mother in the same room with the mother. The guys, the brothers, Sam and Dean, they wind up in some kind of dino world because there's big ass dino footprints that they're walking in and out.
Oh my God! It's Jurassic Park Supernatural,
and you can hear the dinosaur yelling. But this is where they enter the
spinoff show.
The girls.
Oh,
this is where it's going to come out of.
Okay.
So I saw that trailer, like, what the fuck? Are we going to deal with dinos now? Like, this is going to be so fucking lame. And then you hear the scream, and he's like, okay, this is going to be kind of good. This is going to be interesting. So I'm like, this is a different way.
I mean, they've gone all over the place with the show anyway, and they've done it well.
Directors who do not, yes, that's the point I was going to. Different from Kripke to the girl to another guy to another guy, whatever. They've changed multiple times since the show's been on TV.
And writers, too.
Yes, since it's been on TV. Yet, the damn fan base does not dwindle. It gets bigger.
And they don't essentially change the spirit of Supernatural. Like, it stays the same. And
however, I think this one's going to have a change, but it's in an alternate universe. So that's probably why they can get away with it. And they do throw out a stupid ass comedy one every so often, which they're pretty goddamn funny, believe it or not, even though it is comedy. So it's one of those things where, guys, you write the movies, you need to take some lessons from what these dudes are doing. These guys, I mean,
these are the masters here.
Yeah, these guys, they're not like, it was like just a regular show on the CW, or WB, whatever you want to call it now, that started off lowly and didn't think they were going to make it past 3 years, and bam!
And what is it now, like 13th season?
It's 12 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, the 12 fucking seasons, like, goddamn.
And they're
and it's still good. Yeah, it's 12 years.
They're going to sign them again. And, dude, and here's the thing is, if you're super, super religious, you think you'd really hate this show because they talk about devils and angels and demons and leviathans and everything. They've gone past God. Now God has a sister. Now there's another entity that's older than God. He lives in the darkness, the nothing. And then it's a trip. The shit that they pull out of this show is like, super religious people have a problem with it. but it is so god dogging good. It's like this is freaking amazing.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah, and you get captured. It sucks you in. My dad watches this show.
Wow,
my dad
it's cross generations.
He watched it from season 1 when they had this Route 666. And he's the one that hooked me on the show.
Wow.
So yeah, I just it just goes to show you can have different writers, different directors, everything, and not fuck shit up.
Yeah, you can.
Just gotta be willing to kid. You said the key word. Keep the spirit of the actual show of what it's about. That's all you got to do. And I think the directors here on Star Wars dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get his own agenda for his new trilogy. I think that's what he's going
But
for.
We do have to step back a little bit and say,
it makes it about himself.
what if it's not his fault? What if it's the Disney producers? What if it's kind of like the board and whatnot that are over this, or whoever is really in charge in Disney and not the director who's just in charge of what's happening?
That'd be a trip.
So,
It'd be like the bomb you dropped on us
it's
about
like
the WB.
So, we have to kind of question what's the politics that fucked this one up.
So he's saying we shouldn't shit on the director just yet till we know the truth.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be crucifying him in effigy until we find out.
We'll skin him, hang him up by a tree.
Anyways,
I hope it's not.
that's our review of Star Wars. Hopefully we can bring Kyle in. If Kyle was here, this would have been a much longer show.
Yeah, considering we went for a while there.
Yeah, we went long enough as it was, yeah.
Yeah, so is there anything else we need to add, gentlemen?
Oh, our friend Monica Frazier, big fan of the show. She wanted to say Merry Christmas to you guys and just letting us all know that she loves the show and, Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you very much. She's located where? Here in Texas as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we'll ever get a chance to see her like a Comic Palooza or a Fandemic tour, whenever. Hey, come out and meet us. We'd love to meet you and hang out and then maybe get you on. If we get another show, and she'll maybe get on the show with us at Comic Palooza or something.
Palooza, yeah.
Or if she lives close by, maybe we can get her on here. Because, we like having our guests here.
Yeah.
Currently, so you guys know, I am working on getting My BDSM Supply, guys. MyBDSMSupply.com, where you can go out and use Comical or use Sean as a tag and get 10% off any anal beads that you... No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if that's a legit thing.
We also are another good friend of the show, Ish.
I don't like that guy. That guy's a traitor. He is a foul-mouthed photographer taking very bad pictures of young ladies in unceremonious uniforms. It's terrible. He's objectifying women left and right. God bless you. God bless you, Ish.
Ish, you can tell the bullshit just built up all over.
No. On the serious side, the dude is an amazing guy. I love Ish so much. He's like a brother from another mother. I am sad that he is going to go back to Louisiana, but I understand why. I mean, losing your parents and stuff like that, it's tough. But when he went back home, he had more time with family. And being Hispanic, obviously, the family we grew up in, and I'm probably Sean as well, family means a lot.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you spend as much time with your family. I spend as much time as I can with my children, my nephews, my nieces, and stuff like that. So I get it 100%. He will be missed. But like he said before, we've had plenty of time to hang out with him here. If we ever go to Louisiana, we can hang out with him there. He comes into town. He's more than welcome to join us. I am working on trying to get him on the show. I like that we could do that. I like to actually, if we can get him in here early and maybe have a long show, like have a regular show where he can do it with us, and then have him after that have just a show dedicated to just him and everything he's done. And we can ask him all kinds of questions, to the people that give him shit about his photography, to what got him into photography, what got him into doing porn, and why he loves Miguel so much. Because he really, I don't know. But yeah.
We're going to have to get him drunk for that part.
Nice. So we have great, guys, we have so many fans, so much true friends that follow us. We had our buddy out from New Jersey. Adrian has issues. We need to get Adrian back on.
Yeah, we do.
We still got to get Bob back on. We got to get the My BDSM guys on. We got to get the Nerd Thug Radio guys out in Conroe on the show. They're going to come down here. And again, after they do that, we're going to try to go down there to them and be on their show as well. I'm trying to hook us up with the Nthcast guys. You guys know those guys are freaking hilarious. I need to hook us up with the Comic Syndicate guys out in California, because you guys will love them. And there's so many more. Many people send us so many messages. Hey, can I get on your show? I actually had somebody send Time Out Entertainment a question saying, could they join up on the network?
Really? Wow.
And I'm like, well, guys, I responded back saying, look, we don't have a network yet. We're working on something with critical thinking. Don't know what's going to happen yet, how we're going to work this out. But if we do, you will definitely be in our mind. And if we can figure something out, that's why the idea we talked about with Uncanny is coming into more into play now. We may have down the road, we may have people that want to join us, thinking we may have our own network. And that's crazy. Can you imagine that? Us running a network?
The critical network.
Yeah, so now people are paying us to run and produce their shows too, as long as ours? That's crazy. How have things have just changed for us. Now, granted, don't get us wrong. We're not leaving Beyond the Dawn or those guys at all. We love those guys, and loyalty to them is always going to be there. It's just that...
Hopefully we'll bring them more programs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to pitch out the email to these guys and let them, hey, you might want to carry these guys too. These guys are new. They're coming on. They're pretty damn funny. The Pod Couple, your friends you met, those guys, they need more. They got a pretty good amount of followers, and they definitely need more love.
And they did a review on also on The Last Jedi, so definitely check out their review as well. You get you might get a happier, more go-lucky one with that.
Yeah, they're nice. They, like I said, we got some good people out there who I truly, really do want. I mean, we really want to help everybody. We want to help ourselves too. A little rant here right now, though. I have a problem with people that want to use us and then just abuse us and then walk away from us. Like they don't expect any consequences that's going to happen from doing that shit. We here at No Fucks Given Critical Thinking do not accept that. Do not come here and use us like a wet rag and throw us away. First of all, we're not freaking Ming Chen and Michael Zapsik and Smodcast. We're not like somebody massive that you think we're going to use critical and get big. Sorry, bub, that's not going to happen. But if you don't like what we're saying, don't follow us on our Instagram or Twitter and our Facebook or give derogatory comments. You don't have to follow. You can comment or whatever. We don't have a problem with that. But don't be like, I'm going to follow me and unfollow me and say bad things about him. That's terrible. We try not to say anything bad about it. Okay, we scratch that. We make tons of inappropriate jokes and laugh about it and have so much fun. Hell, we rip on each other left and right. I mean, how many times have we said Sean's gay on this show? I mean, every other hour.
Can we count?
I mean, how many times have I said you're a nasty motherfucker?
I done lost count, man.
I mean, we know you dirty. I mean, how many times does Kyle call me on my shit? Call me a racist bastard and I love men.
Every damn time.
I think he tells me that when I walk in. Hey, how's your men doing? What the fuck? But it's all in fun, guys. And I may be getting on a public service announcement here, but I'm just saying.
Would you like to know more?
Yes. Click on this button.
We have a .org now.
The only bug is a good bug is a dead bug. But yeah, so again, follow us at Critical Thinking Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter. We each have our own Twitter handles, which you can follow us if you want to. Obviously, Litcaster, Rick Rizzo, Podcaster MG, Kyle Crimple. But mostly we use Critical Thinking Podcast, critic_thinking. That's mostly the one we use. Uncanny Comics has their own out there as well. Time Out Entertainment has one as too. What's our Instagram handle? Just Critical Thinking.
It's just Critical Thinking Podcast. Yeah.
Sean posts a lot of funny things out there, and a lot of our guys post stuff on it too. The guys they tag us.
He catches Morning Mondays.
Yeah, we always get tagged.
Morning Mondays.
There's a lot of Rick. Yeah, more exactly. Great stuff. So I'm just saying, give us a shout. Follow with us. Come in this incredible journey with us. 2018 is going to be a bigger, better year for us. I can already tell because we're already making strides and we're going to do stuff.
And just on a future note, everybody, not too sure about next week because we normally record on Mondays. It's Christmas. We don't know if we're going to record next week, but of course, we're going to let you know.
We'll send out a public service announcement.
I mean, even if Kyle can't make it, do you think we might be able to sneak in maybe the day before on a Sunday, possibly just do something real quick? Something so we can give to our guys. We can just call it the Spanish Network. El Latino.
Like I already have some stuff for pre-production for the next show.
Okay.
I already have notes and stuff going on that. So like we could
whenever we can squeeze it in.
Whenever we can squeeze it in.
Or I can just do a live Periscope for an hour and a half, send it to you, and you can put it. People don't want to see that.
Eventually, we do want to do the live watching on Periscope, tweeting of a Christmas movie or something that
Die Hard, man. Die Hard. Welcome to the party, pal.
But we wouldn't have the heart to make fun of that, though. We love it too much.
You wouldn't make fun of Die Hard.
But that was kind of the idea. Is we're going to be heckling the whole time.
Kind of like
fine, and we can watch Die Hard 3 and make fun of Samuel Jackson and all this stuff. Look at these dumb fools.
Other than that, that's our show. Thanks for listening.
I was going to say watching. Who's watching?
Every step you take, every move you make, we'll be watching you.
Gay.
We out.
This podcast brought to you by Uncanny Comics. Uncanny Comics located on Avenue I, Rosenberg, Texas. Joseph Cano, proprietor owner. He's there. Go see him.
Hey guys, you can connect with us on iTunes
At Critical Thinking Podcast.
and Twitter
At critic_thinking.
and also on Facebook and Instagram.
At Critical Thinking Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Critical Thinking is on Beyond the Dawn Radio, which is known for playing the best indie radio music around the world.
On Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Central Time.
And if you like the show, please 5-star the episode and tell your friends. So thank you for joining us, thinking shit through one podcast at a time.